What is up, guys? It's your boy J2K33, and we are back with a video. Now, shout out my world side viewers, shout out the aliens, shout out my black people, my beautiful melanated kings and queens of that realm. There we go. So, name of this video is called God Isn't Perfect. Now, I know a lot of you guys, you're gonna be thinking, damn. A lot of you guys are gonna be thinking, damn, this man is attacking my religion. He's attacking my ways of beliefs and what I believe in. And disclaimer, I'm not attacking nobody's beliefs. I'm not knocking you for believing in your own gods, your own deities, or of that nature. I'm just making a good point. I'm just bringing facts to the table. So now, if you're a Christian, Muslim, any from a form of religious affiliation, I ask that you come in this video with an open mind and try to understand for once, and don't try to just be emotional and dislike the damn video because you feel like somebody's attacking your religion, when in reality you have to deal with the facts and the logical explanation for why things are the way they are, and not just because you're an emotional pedestal. You're on your emotional pedestal, excuse me. So let me get started. So when you grow up, you are taught that God is perfect. You are taught that the Most High has created this world in a perfect manner. You know, let's say the earth, he rested on the seventh day, and you know the creations and the stories and the Bible and stuff like that. I don't feel like getting into all the parables. Now, they talked about how God is perfect in churches, and how he created the world, the animals, the people, and the race, and all the nations, and all the lineages and shit like that. But if the world was perfect, if we're looking at perfection, the word perfect means to do something precisely, to do something with precision, to do something with accuracy, and just not have a dent, a scratch, a mark, or anything that's imperfect. It means to be completely perfect. So if you look at the world, the earth, right, you see the earth has flowers and trees, and every tree, the tree is not even perfect looking. It's not straight, stiff, structured like a damn doctrine. It's a tree. It has irregular rhythm patterns that's going up and down the barks of the tree. You have the grass that's shaped different sizes and cuts. You have the flowers that's shaped different sizes and cuts, and it has different patterns. They do resemble some similarities with other wildlife and other sentient beings. These creations do resemble similarities with other sentient beings, but they don't have perfection. They're full of shapes and different angles. Like, perfect example, this flower right here, this white flower here is not perfect. It's just like, it has a design that's, it's like it's coming out, it's expanding, it's layered, it's it has different shapes and different shapes around it. It's like that nature. That's not perfect. A perfect flower in your mind, because perfection is like a social construct. It's like somebody putting you in their mind, and they saying, well, you have to, in order for you to be a god in my mind, you have to be perfect, right? So that's how I would think how this was created. Like, in order for you to be a real creative, a supreme being, you have to be perfect in my mind. So perfect means you don't fuck up, you don't make mistakes, you don't do none of those things, you don't sin, or whatever you consider yourself to have a downfall, or whatever you consider as a letdown, in your own words. As you clearly can see in the Bible, God is constantly presented as the supreme being, but yet you see certain scriptures where he's killing, or he's ordering diseases and viruses all over the earth, and killing off of a nation of people, and doing other things of that nature. Now, not saying that's God doing it, But when you read scriptures, it talks about how God, favored certain races of people. How God, got rid of certain nations of people, certain generations. How God sent plagues to Egypt and certain, some stuff like that. If you say that's perfect, that's a perfect being, a supreme being, then you're wrong. If you say that's something that you look up to, that's you're crazy. You're wrong, because that's like looking up to Hitler or King Leopold, because they present themselves as royalty and prestigious as supreme beings. They present themselves as a pillar of light for others to look up to, but yet they were killing millions of indigenous people of lands, Africans, and they were killing Jewish people and stuff like that nature. And they were doing all types of wickedness. So if you say purifying, cleansing the earth with destruction, because you feel like this race of people, this nation of people is not following orders of what I think of what is perfection, then you are a devil. You are wrong. You are wrong, because that is the opposite of if you that sounds like, excuse me, I'm all over the place. That sounds very inhumane to think that way. That's a very unhealthy way of thinking on a spiritual spectrum. So get it from the biblical side. I just told you that God, if God was perfect, wouldn't the world be perfect? Wouldn't the earth be perfect? Wouldn't we would have any crimes, any murder going on? We would have nothing going on. We would have nothing of that sort going on. If God was perfect, there would not be all of this bullshit going on, right? So with that being said, how could God be perfect? How could the Most High design imperfect beings? We are not even perfect beings, but we come from God. Excuse me, he's not a he or I don't want to put genders on the creator. But how can the creator create beings that are not perfect, but yet y'all call him perfect? I mean, the creator perfect, excuse me. So that's a question to answer. If you can answer that question, put it in the comment section below, because that makes no sense. You would think if you had a father and your father taught this certain way, or he did this certain way of he taught this certain way of he had this certain tradition, you would follow that tradition because it's only right. That's what it sounds like. But the creator, and how I see the perspective, I see that this is a social construct. Perfection is a social construct, because many people believe the creator is on the outside of them and the creator is perfect, right? Well, that would mean you are perfect because you came from the creator. But as you see, humans are not perfect. So clearly the creator couldn't be perfect, going by your logic. Now, going by my logic would make sense. I'm going to say this. The creator is not perfect. God is not perfect. Whatever you want to call your creator, whatever we want to call your deity, it's not perfect. You know why? Because I like to say, or the universe, I'm speaking from the universe, I like to say the God is within you. So if the God is within me, I should know that since I'm not perfect, since I am a God myself, and the female is a goddess, since I'm aware of higher consciousness and how it works, I'm aware that I'm not perfect. So if I'm aware that I'm not perfect and I'm just like the universe, I'm just awareness, I'm just little bits, parts of awareness. Don't you know the universe knows that it's not perfect? Don't you know that the universe knows that it's not all knowing? See, that's the thing. They teach you that God is all knowing, all knowing. But I heard it was a philosopher that said, he said these exact words. I forgot how word for word he said it, but he was like, the one that knows, the true one that knows nothing knows. The one that knows nothing. Something about the one that knows nothing knows. Some shit like that. Basically, knowing that you have not knowing is having knowledge of a substance, of a certain substance of what you know. But That doesn't mean you know everything. The universe doesn't know everything. God doesn't know everything. Because if God knew everything, then everything will be perfect. Everything will be spot on, right? Everything is organic. The creator is organic. It's an organic creator. Organic means it's not perfect. It's natural. It just shapes the way it shapes. It comes out the way it comes out. It's not like it's designed to be perfect. Perfect is an ego mentality that was made to fit a certain fictitious reality that a lot of people are drawn to because they've been lost in the sauce for too damn long. And I'm sorry that I'm speaking way too fast for y'all liking, but hey, it's part of what I do. I try to slow down, but you know, when the knowledge is running and power is running in my mind, it's like, yeah, it's hard to slow down. But yeah, guys, it's like the universe, when the universe grows, I say the universe is growing every day. It's growing, it's constantly expanding its consciousness. When you grow as a person, you're expanding your consciousness. You're going from point A to point B to point C to point D, right? You're constantly growing your consciousness. If you're constantly growing, that means there's room for improvement, but it also means you don't know everything. It also means you're constantly in an infinite realm of knowledge, an infinite realm of information. The Most High, God, the Creator, the Source is still creating awareness for itself because the Creator still don't know itself fully. It's still understanding little parts of itself. The awareness is becoming aware of your existence. The Creator is a source, a higher source. It's basically a source of existence, like a God-like conscious and a God embodiment, right? Like the God complex. But inside that God complex, that embodiment, there is awareness attached to that God that you believe in. There is awareness everywhere, tapped in. Some of the awareness is not aware of its awareness. So therefore, it's not all in alignment yet. But once everything becomes in alignment, everything connects to dot from dot to dot, just like the neurons in your brain, just like the neurological neurological connections in your brain. When everything connects, that's when you reach your God state. Your God state knows that you're not perfect. Just like a child, a child is a perfect example of what you call a God. The kid, when you are a child, you are in your pure state. You are organic. You are an organic creator, which I would say that's an OC. You are organic creator. But once you become indoctrinated with a religion, they start teaching you that you're just a servant. You're just a servant, and this is you. You're the servant, and the supreme being that knows everything is right here. But if the supreme being knew everything and they're right here, shouldn't you be right here? Because the supreme being created you. So shouldn't you be on the same level as the supreme being? No, you're not on the same level as the supreme being because they teach you that you are a servant and you're not a god. You're not a goddess. You know what I'm saying? The child knows that they are gods and that they are goddesses. It's not until society starts to play with their minds and start to trick them into not believing themselves, they forget their creative juices and their imagination that really leads to their reality, the realms they create. So with that being said, guys, God is not perfect. The Creator is not perfect, but the Creator is organic. I love you guys. Peace out.